If you've ever been to a Brazilian grill, you know just how addicting those little airy puffs of cheese are. Yes, you're looking at them. So much chewy goodness in one bite-sized form. Well, we've got Becky Low here with the Brazi Bites. You won't stop reaching for them. Now, Becky, how would you describe these bites for someone who hasn't tried them?
Yummy.
Yummy. One word, that's all we need.
Well, depending on whether you make them so that they're crisp or chewy, but they're nice and cheesy, and so you can just kind of pull them apart. In fact, pull one.
Let's show you. Let's show you what she means here.
So you just pull that open. Yeah.
Oh, I'm pulling it the wrong way, but it's just filled with
cheese and gooey, and I love it. It's just, they're delightful. You know, so you don't, when you go to the Brazilian restaurant, you don't stock up too much on the meats. Make sure you have room for the bread.
Oh, and those are so good, and they're so fun for so many different types of parties, dinners. They go with so many dishes.
Breakfast, you name it. You know, they call it a bread, but I would actually say it's more of a snack.
Yes, yes,
it's
an all-day snack. You just keep going back for.
You do.
Okay, and there are a lot of different variations on how to make these with different cheeses.
Cheeses, the classic is Parmesan cheese or a nice sharp cheese. And I like to use a little bit of mozzarella, and then you could put some garlic in them, you could put some seasoning, or you can just leave them plain. You know, it really is up to you. So it's actually a very simple, basic recipe, and then you get to adapt it from there.
Okay, and you've done the dirty work to figure out how this all comes together, so show us how to start.
Okay, first off, we're beginning with just some milk and a little bit of water and some butter. Oh, and salt. We want to add some salt to this. Now, we're going to bring this to a boil, okay, and whisk that every once in a while just to make sure that your salt's mixed in.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm actually going to use some garlic with this one, and so this is, it's hot. It's usually right at a boil. I'm going to add a couple of teaspoons of minced garlic to this. Okay, then the flour that we add to it. Now, this is an all-purpose flour, okay, it's wheat, and it has a lot of gluten. What we're using is a tapioca flour, or sometimes it's called a tapioca starch.
Okay.
So completely different than this one. Okay, it does not have the gluten, and so it's not going to stretch the same way. With all-purpose flour, we want that nice stretch to go with it.
Okay.
So I'm putting this into my milk. We'll stir it in. It looks a little bit like cottage cheese.
Yes.
You actually can put this on a stand mixer and mix that in, and my flour has cooled down just a little touch. So we've backed up with this, and we have one that's ready to go.
And how long did it take to get to this type of consistency?
You know, when your flour, milk and water is hot, then it's good. And it looks up, you can see that it's very gelatinous, it's very starchy. That's the flour with it. The last thing that we want to add are some cheese. And so I'm going to use Parmesan and some mozzarella cheese. We'll simply, oh, you know what, I forgot to put my egg in there. We'll stir it in.
So you would add egg into that section of it. Okay, the step before this.
Yep. So we'll just kind of whisk that together and put it in with the cheese. And you know, we're doing a little bit backwards, but it's still going to work very, very nicely.
Just don't forget the egg.
Don't forget the egg.
Add it in at the end if you have to.
Right. The egg is what causes the leavening with it. You know, so as the egg steams and cooks, it's going to thicken it up, and it's also going to make that nice, airy texture with it. And when you first put that egg in, it doesn't look like it's going to really mix in, but it does. Just keep stirring.
Okay.
And again, you could put this on a stand mixer, but I figure, why dirty up another dish?
Yes.
You know, so I'm dirtying up the counter. Why dirty a dish?
The tapioca flour, tapioca starch, that's a different type of, where do you get that? Can it be purchased at a regular grocery store?
In fact, it's in the flour section. It might come in a box, or it might come in the package like this. There's several different brands. Just make sure that it says a tapioca flour or a tapioca starch with it. Okay, this is now ready to go. I'm going to just give that one last stir.
And then what do we do with that?
Okay, so that's the basis. That's our batter with it. Let's step over here. Whoops. I'll put that right under the camera so you can see the empty bowl. Okay, now you want to use the wrong pan.
This pan.
Yeah,
I'm bringing the pan. I've got the pan.
There we go. Okay, now at this point, you can use some oil on your hands, or you can put just a little bit of water with it. You're making about 1/4 of a cup scoops with it. So either with spoons, I'll give you a spoon, and we're dropping it on balls there, or I like to use a ice cream scoop, and we just simply put it on.
Okay.
Okay, then it bakes at between 375 and 400 degrees for about 20 minutes until they're nice and brown and cooked through, and not really brown. You just want them golden.
Okay.
And they do have
Is it okay if they're a little oblong?
You can make them however you want.
And how many will this batch make?
This will make about 24.
Okay.
Okay, then all you have to do is eat them and warm. Yes. Warm is always best.
And so
with
you
it.
don't do anything once you take them out. You just serve them up, and that's how they are.
Yep, that's it.
Oh my goodness!
So that's your nice little quick
look
snack
good in
or
on
breakfast.
this one more time. If this isn't making your palate just go to heaven, I don't know what will. The cheesy, bready goodness in there.
It is.
Okay.
It is yummy.
Where can people find this recipe? Are you going to try that? Did you steal that from me to eat it? She's like, I'm just taking that right out of your head.
It's going to be on your website.
Yes.
It's also going to be on our website.
Becky, it's always a pleasure to have you with us. Such a great idea and definitely a fun thing to try out for the weekend.
Okay,
Thank you.
there you go.
All right, and like she said, you can find this on Becky's Brazilian cheese bread. It will be on our website. All you have to do is go to studio5.ksl.com and then click on the recipe button, and you will not be sad that you did.